Welcome into this Monday edition of the Oxford Exxon podcast. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford at studio today. We'll discuss Lane Kiffin's Monday press conference of Alabama week. The Tide and the Rebels, 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon from Vaught Hemingway Stadium. So we'll go through a good bit of that. He was asked about Nick Saban a pretty good bit today. Otherwise, not a ton of news, but some stuff for us to talk about, and we will, over the course of the show, we'll talk some lines for the week on on the program, including college football, NFL, and more. As I don't know how we did. We'll see how we did on Neal's picks. Neal might know, but I don't have the standings there as we're getting going.
I've got them. We actually all did okay.
Fairly well this week.
Yeah, everybody did okay.
All right. We'll get into
I don't have it here in front of me, but I updated it in admin already.
All right. We'll get there soon to discuss that, but we'll talk on the podcast about that and many more things as the day goes on. A podcast brought to you every single day by the Oxford Exxon Highway 6 West in Oxford. You can get the Speed Pass Plus app. You can pay right there on the app. Makes it easy to move on about your day. It is efficient, it is fast, and more. You can get a lunch special for $5.69, 2 sides bread, 32-ounce drink there at the Oxford Exxon. So again, Blue Sky locations up and down I-55 and throughout Mississippi, and then. How we doing?
I don't know. It's trying to reboot.
Okay.
It says we're still live.
That's good.
No data. The stream will end shortly. We're back to YouTube not receiving enough video. I think we're.
I'll get the Speed Pass Plus.
So I'm not really sure, Chase, to be honest. It says we're still live. I don't know.
So we're hanging in, but don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, ever since they did the digging out there, things have been squirrely.
Some people are saying better.
Okay.
Again, if you're listening to this on a podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. All right.
All good?
Says error, YouTube not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming as such. View something and says open the widget.
Everybody says we're good now.
Okay, I don't know.
So we're going to go with this.
Yeah, all right. That was not anything on my end. That's Oxford Wi-Fi, which sucks.
Yeah, it's like differing versions of bad. Like the good company in town is still could get a little shaky on you depending on who you're with and what you pay for. But nonetheless, here we are. Yeah, you mentioned the baseball games. I will quickly just give that as a little bit of a deal here. 3:07 today, Houston and Oakland. The nightcap tonight, Yankees and Rays, and then tomorrow, Miami and Atlanta at 1:08, and all four obviously in play. Houston and Oakland at 3:37, New York, Tampa Bay at 7:10, and then San Diego, LA at 8:38 start tomorrow night.
That makes sense. They play that the late game because you get the West Coast views.
Yeah, because that's only 6:38 for their time out there. So here's what it is. There's your schedule. Ole Miss football news. Ole Miss and Arkansas. They will play at 2:30 next Saturday on ESPN2 is the game time with that. And that's one that in a normal year that wouldn't even be a time slot at all, but that is now. So 2:30 ESPN2.
The deal on that is CBS is doing a night game that week, Alabama, Georgia, at night.
Yes.
Because they're coming in. The Masters will be on during the day.
But there is another 2:30 game as well. Your games this week. Or that week, sorry, I'll just run through them real quick. Auburn at South Carolina and Kentucky at Tennessee are at 11 a.m. One of those will be on ESPN. One of those will be on SEC Network. We don't know the answer to that yet. LSU at Florida is your 2:30 game on ESPN. Ole Miss, Arkansas, your 2:30 game on ESPN2. A&M and State are at 3 o'clock on SEC Network. Vanderbilt, Missouri is on 6:30 on SEC Network. They wanted that to run completely parallel to Georgia and Alabama as much as possible because no one's going to watch it. And then the Tide and the Bulldogs, 7 p.m. on CBS, as you were saying. So that is, that's your game times for next Saturday. We'll get into lines for this Saturday. Kind of as expected today with Mr. Kiffin. No update on Otis Reese. That is getting a little crazy, but it is what it is.
I think it's getting to the point where people might have to accept the fact that he's not going to be eligible this year.
It's still weird that they don't say no, though. I mean, a non-answer is not technically an answer when it comes to do with a clearinghouse situation. But I agree with you. Is if they were trying to clear him, it would already probably have been done by now.
Yeah.
It's just strange.
If you ask a girl if she wants to go out with you Saturday night and 3 Saturdays later she still hasn't answered,
yeah,
she didn't technically tell you no, but she said no.
it would give credence potentially that the NCAA is messing with Otis Reese.
It's possible.
If you have an answer, you have an answer.
It's possible.
I mean, this is not necessarily legal, but it is you know what I mean, a clerical situation where you do need paperwork, I guess is the way I would put it. So,
and we don't know what's going on behind the scenes there. It could be one of those deals where there's a lot happening behind the scenes, where people are questioning things. The SEC just gave a blanket waiver. Who knows? The good news is for Otis Reese, in the event that this is bad news, is he doesn't lose a year of eligibility.
That's true. He gets to come back and play when they have a full 12-game season and the whole deal. Like I said, in a lot of ways, though, that makes it even more, why don't you just clear him? The year doesn't matter anyway.
Oh, for sure. I mean, no doubt about that.
I don't know that I want necessarily blanket waivers across college football from the NCAA, but in a lot of ways, I don't really see what the issue is with, just saying okay. You kind of move on with your day. Kiffin asked a ton about Saban today. We knew that was going to be the case. He gave honest answers. There's a couple things you probably could take as a little bit of quips if you wanted to, but for the most part, he was completely respectful, as you mentioned. He talked about how he had a hand in it in some ways, but Alabama is a whole different offense than it was 10 years ago, because he said that the last time he's really had to deal with Alabama from this standpoint is when he was the head coach of Tennessee, and said at that time it was a lot of I formation. At that point, you could kind of keep games close, just clock control. They weren't trying to blow you out, but once they started going more RPO, started going more vertical down the field, that changed the way the Alabama ran their offense. That changed the way that they could be defended, because now they score more points. There's a lot more higher chance of increased margin of victory. He pointed out a couple more times that during his tenure there, Ole Miss were his only regular season losses, something that he's stuck on even in taking this job, something that did stay with him from Alabama through his time at FAU and then now. So, yeah, not necessarily news, anything worthy. He mentioned tackling. He mentioned I thought what was interesting, we hadn't gotten this much, but they did do a very good job of it. Matt Corral was so good at quarterback, it frankly didn't matter. He's frustrated with Ole Miss's run game. He talked about the guards had not played up to par. He said they did a pretty good job of Ben Brown at center, and then obviously who they had at tackles. But beyond that, need more out of the run game, because you can't rely on Matt to do this every single week. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what you have. You know what you have, but it's not very good on the defensive side of the ball. And in a lot of ways, Ole Miss is 1-1 and has played pretty respectable football through 3 weeks, being average to bad at 3 of the 4 or 4 of the 5 different ways that you run a football game, and that's interesting if nothing else.
Yeah, he does not mince words as it pertains to the defense, which I view as a recruiting message.
It's a recruiting message, and it's just the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's, hey.
Well, they can't stop the pass, and they can't stop the run, and they can't get to the quarterback, and they don't tackle well.
Other than that, I mean, they're perfectly good defense. He did point out they had several drives in the second half that they made enough plays to pull it out on Saturday. But, yeah, it's a recruiting message. It's also what he said multiple times, and I think this is a program deal that's honest in the truth, and him not necessarily playing PR, but I do think it needs to be reminded sometimes. I mean, he said that when he said this multiple times, that the way he did it today was when a coaching change happens, there are problems. There are problems intuitively because you had a coaching change. It's just the way it works. And it takes some time to fix it. He said, pixie dust isn't going to suddenly appear and fix it, was the way he put it today. And that is a recruiting message. That's also hey, look, we got some guys at skill positions. We got some dudes here, but just because you won at Kentucky doesn't mean everything's kosher and everything moves forward on some competitive championship level. I do think there's a certain message that, if you will, that he's kind of reminding everybody that, hey, this is still quite the process, even though Saturday went pretty well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He was good. He was not bad. He did say Mark Britt and John Haynes are both healthy. It's one thing that they hadn't played a lot, either one of them. What do you think is going on with Britt? What do you think the deal is there?
Just don't think he's ready. I mean, I interpret that to mean John Haynes isn't good enough right now, and Mark Britt's not ready. So they're not hurt, which means they're not hurt and they're not COVID. I don't think they have any COVID issues right now. In fact, today was the first day that no one even asked. Thank God.
He wasn't even asked today. I didn't think about that till you just said it, but
Yeah.
you're right.
Trying to run. There it goes. Trying to run the games on where people can see them. We got the schedule, got some lines up. You can look at them. We'll talk about those lines in a little bit. I think I can even slow that down some. And there we go. How about that? I just think he's telling guys, look, so we had a question the other night, how many guys get processed? My answer, a good many. I don't think this is going to be the patient plodding along approach to rebuilding a program. Someone asked about plan Bs. Do you give Luke Altmaier, for example, I think was the question in a mailbag, and I'll answer it in the mailbag, but I'll answer it here too. Do you give him a deadline? No. You keep recruiting. You recruit guys. You get who you get. Take who you want. You don't take a guy because you don't create false limits on what you're trying to do. You get guys that you believe can help you win in this league. And if you don't think they can help you win in this league, you don't sign them.
Efficiency.
Yes.
Roster efficiency.
Yes.
Ole Miss has to be efficient in 25 different ways. Roster efficiency is one of those. Where, it's in two ways. It's don't take anybody that you believe cannot be an SEC player, period. That's it. And then two is when you know you're out, stop.
Yeah.
It's one thing that even Alabama does really well that Kiffin probably picked up on some along the time, because I think at Tennessee he didn't do this overly well. He just stay, and I'm going to try to grab this guy. And he had some recruiting success at Tennessee, but overall it didn't happen. But at Alabama, as much as they get a lot of who they want, when they're out, they quit.
Well, it's the difference between his philosophy and Orgeron's, which down the road will be a really good question to ask. But, Orgeron said, we're going to keep recruiting you until we're going to make you say no 10,000 times. Okay, but if they do say no 10,000 times, you wasted a lot of time. I mean, at some point, no is no. Hey, I'm going to go somewhere else. Okay. Next.
Time is a resource.
You have 10 coaches,
mm-hmm.
and you have, I don't know, whatever 16 waking hours in the day. Well, there's a number. That's when people say time's infinite. Well, no, it's not. You got a certain number of hours that you actually can spend recruiting. And then when you start chopping into those hours with football and film and travel and whatever, no, you need to be efficient with what you do. And if you don't think a guy can play in the league, there's no point in forcing it. Like, what could you move a guy from wide receiver to tight end? I don't know. Would you be better off getting a proven tight end? How many projects can you put on a roster at one time? Yeah, if you're loaded, you can take a gamble on a project or two. But you can't build a roster full of projects.
Yes, he's going to have it. It's kind of back to your question, was what I was thinking about. He's going to move as quickly as possible. There's still just a certain amount of time this takes, because even in the transfer market, like I said, you're probably not going to pick off 8 dudes, 6 dudes. You know what I mean? It's probably
of course
one or
not.
2. It's
you're going to go after all those dudes,
sure.
But I mean, everybody else is too. If there's a guy out there that's playing at, I don't know, let's just use Temple for the sake of it, and he's good enough to play in the SEC, he's going to have 8 SEC offers.
Who else was in on Uboa?
It was Baylor, and I actually think he was going to go to Baylor, and then dude left for that's exactly where he was going. He was going to Baylor, and then what's-his-face left for the Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
And that opened it back up.
Matt Rule.
So you even have to have some luck there. I mean, it's just hard. You can't depend on the transfer market.
He picked a good spot, though, because they're going to use the crap out of Uboa as the year moves on.
Sure, yeah. We've
already seen that, but I think even more so, frankly. Yeah, the quote earlier that I mentioned is he was asked about offensive line. He said offensive line's very up and down. Center and tackles have played well at times, but we've struggled at guard. We have to play better the rest of the schedule. You can't just play defense like we have and hope the quarterback and wide receiver and tight end bail us out. We have to run the ball better and play better defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think we covered this a little bit on Saturday night. It was a big win. It was an exciting win. It was a big moment for the program. But the delusions of, this is going to be an 8-2 team, probably not. Probably not. You're going to win more than we thought you were going to win? I think so. I mean, I can look at the schedule now, and I kind of go through it differently. But, I mean, Ole Miss is a 24-point underdog at home Saturday. I mean, if football gods could come down right now, I'd say Alabama coming back to Oxford in 2 years? What's the line on that game?
Oh, that'd be a good question.
What's the betting line on Alabama at Ole Miss October 2022? Because if it's still 20-something, it didn't work. Now, if it's 6,
yeah,
okay. I mean, people that are like, if you're
single digits that day, yes or no? That's
yeah. If you're writing about this week, if you're a guy covering Ole Miss and you're writing about Ole Miss winning this game, you're not serving the people that subscribe to your site or your paper or whatever very well. I mean, the question for Ole Miss is, what Kentucky did was it gives them a path to having this kind of be fun at the end. I was talking to Gabe today. Gabe's covered 2 blowout losses. Missouri's lost to Alabama, and they've lost to Tennessee, and they've looked like crap, and people are already saying, now, what about next year? We don't really get that. Alabama becomes this free shot.
Yeah, everybody's going to completely look past about Saturday. Yeah, completely.
Really, no matter what.
I mean, yeah, look, you don't want to get beat 69-6 or something, but I mean, yeah, it's not. I mean, Ole Miss fans, for the most part, whom I've talked to, and it's a pretty good number of people, consensus is they would walk out of that stadium going, you know what, had a good time today if Ole Miss loses 52-28.
If the Vegas line's exactly right.
Yeah, well, I guess
that'd be 24 points. That'd be a push.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, you'd say, okay.
Scored 4 times, fun. Defense, yeah, they kind of suck, but it is what it is. Mike Jones does a good deep ball. All right, move on with your day.
Alabama really has no weakness on this team. The offense is elite. He's a really good player. And defensively, they're solid. This is not it's not winnable. Now, a week later, when Ole Miss goes to Arkansas, that's a game you should win. It's a game you should win. And if you do, you're 2-2, and then you get Auburn at home, and suddenly you kind of have this free shot. Because I think if everything sort of held according to plan, I think Ole Miss would be, about an 8-9 point dog at home against Auburn?
That's fair. Yeah, something like that.
You win that game. 8-point underdogs win all the time. 24-point underdogs don't win.
Yeah, stay healthy, give it a game, and move on.
And then and then after that, you get, I think, a week off, and you get South Carolina.
You get a pretty good schedule after that.
Yeah, I mean, if you were doing betting lines today, this isn't what we intended to do, but if you were doing betting lines today, Ole Miss at Arkansas is probably a 10-point favorite.
Depending on what kind of noise they put off that state win in Vegas, yeah, I think that's probably fair. 8-10 would be my guess.
8-10. So Ole Miss comes home to play Auburn. We covered that one. Let's just say that everybody on every team stays perfectly healthy. Not going to happen, but
Ole Miss plays Vanderbilt.
They're
a lot. I don't know. 14.
A 14-point favorite. Ole Miss is probably a 5-point favorite at home against South Carolina.
I want to see one more Carolina game. It's possible they're a little better than definitely I've given them credit for being. They played Tennessee fine.
They were fine.
They came back when Florida had taken the foot off the pedal for sure.
Yeah. No, Florida was about to run them out.
Yeah. Florida kind of quit. But I think they're okay. I think Carolina's okay.
Yeah. I think Carolina's
Colin Hill's a little better than I gave him credit for being.
Yeah.
It's all right.
No, I mean, it's got a chance to be one of those games like Kentucky was, 30-something to 30-something.
Sure. Yeah.
So maybe 5's too high. Maybe it's a 2 to 3 point favorite for Ole Miss. Maybe it's even close to a pick 'em, but it's certainly a game you can win. Then Ole Miss goes to A&M, and if you were to do betting lines today, Ole Miss is probably 7 to 9 point underdog at A&M.
I think that's too high, but they're 4 to 7 underdog today because A&M, like I said, has looked like crap. I mean.
And then Ole Miss comes home for State, and if they played today, it would be something from a Vegas standpoint, something near a pick 'em.
It would.
It'd be somebody minus 1.5, 1.
And Ole Miss would be a 10 to 12 point dog at LSU.
Yeah, about right. So, are you going to win all those games? Nope.
But you're in them.
Are you going to lose them all? Nope. You're going to win some of them.
You get off the bus every Saturday after this Saturday going, hey, what? Today, guys, play a good game, and you know what? Who knows what will happen?
Absolutely. You'd have to play out of your mind against Auburn, against LSU to win those games. But, it happens. Again, 8-point, 9-point, 10-point underdogs win all the time.
Yeah.
25-point underdogs don't win.
Yeah. So continue this conversation second. First two about community mortgage. Oxford, Memphis, Stoughton County, and Chattanooga. Underwriting and processing is done in Memphis. So you're getting local underwriting and understands your market. A leader in condo financing, the float down option, and more. You can find Jason at 662-234-2704 or JLOWE at communitymtg.com.
We are also brought to you by our friends at Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, Grenada Nissan's the place to go. They've got a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles, great lease deals as well. They've been with us for a long time at Grenada Nissan. It's GrenadaNissanUSA.com. We're also brought to you by Pinnacle Trust. Martin Palomo and I will be taping a Mind on My Money probably a little bit later than we normally do. Probably later in the week, I think we have found works better, but it's brought to you by Pinnacle Trust. Pinnacle Trust is based in Madison, Mississippi. They've got clients in more than 20 states. They've got representatives in multiple states who can take care of you. It's also home to the Pinnacle Trust 401k advisory services team. Get in touch with them, and they'll conduct a complimentary, no-obligation benchmarking and analysis of your current 401k plan. Mention that you heard about Pinnacle Trust on the Oxford Exxon podcast to get 10% off your first year's fees. We are also brought to you by the College Corner. It's your one-stop Rebel Shop, 2 locations in the Jackson area in Ridgeland. The College Corner is next to Fleet Feet, and in Flowood, it's next to Half Shell. If you don't live in Jackson, not a problem. You can visit the College Corner at collegecornerstore.com, plus you can find them on Facebook and Instagram. So whether you're tailgating in Oxford or home gating with friends and family, the College Corner has you covered for game day. They have the largest selection of Rebel gear in central Mississippi. And through the month of October, mention Rebel Grove at checkout, get 15% off your entire purchase. You can also use it online. Just put Rebel Grove in the coupon tab at checkout. And we are brought to you by Jupiter Security Systems. They're based in Madison, Mississippi. Jupiter Security Systems provides your business with a help desk, allowing you to get software at a much cheaper price than you would pay going directly to Microsoft or the different cybersecurity services. Jupiter offers businesses the full Microsoft 365 suite, email, spam protection. They monitor your workstations and servers. They don't see your data, by the way, but they'll know if malicious applications get installed on your computers. It's ADT for your computer systems and data. It's very affordable with the flat price, no hidden add-ons. Get in touch with Eric at 601-519-9583 or email info at jupitersecurity.net. You can also just go to jupitersecurity.net. And don't forget, Ole Miss fans, Rebel Rewards, the official rewards app of Rebel fans, brings all new experiences this season, including game day selfies, weekly trivia, and stadium light shows from your home. So download the free app today by searching Rebel Rewards. Rebel Rewards, be rewarded.
Going to Lions, I got a few thoughts on some teams. We'll do it as we're mentioning this weekend. Let's see, let me find it. I had it up a second ago. I think Houston's going to actually get to play a game this week. I see they're supposed to play Tulane. That was going to happen, right?
That's awesome.
I think so. They've had 5 games canceled because of COVID so far this season.
Chance of rain, yeah. There's a hurricane kind of starting to do its thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's down in the Gulf. Could get into could hit Louisiana Thursday, Friday. If you look at the projected cones, Ole Miss is absolutely in the cone. So it could be is
that coming in on Saturday or what?
Yeah, it could be I think right now, and look, it's 5 days out and it's a hurricane. I think right now it's a 100% chance of rain. I'll pull it up.
All right, let's see. Yeah, rain would not be preferable for Ole Miss on Saturday night. They need calm weather.
As of right now, Saturday calls for a high of 71, a low of 61, a chance of rain of 80%,
Okay.
Rain early, then remaining cloudy with showers in the afternoon. Rainfall near a half an inch.
Okay.
Friday during the day, periods of rain, high near 70. Chance of rain 90%. Always look at the day before and the day after when you're this far out because all of it could be applicable. Rainfall around half an inch, and then the forecast for Sunday is partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, high of 78. So probably going to see some moisture.
So South Carolina and Vanderbilt kicking off the SEC games on October 10. That's an 11 a.m. game. By the way, your Thursday night game is Tulane at Houston. The Green Wave is a 7-point underdog to Houston in that one. Louisville, Georgia Tech's on Friday night this week, and the Louisville Cardinals are 5.5-point favorites over the Yellow Jackets in Atlanta. So South Carolina, Vanderbilt, this line, ish where I thought it would be, frankly. I'd have been fine with it being a little higher, but right in there. South Carolina opens at 11, and now they're 12.5-point favorites over the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Yeah, I got it at 12 this morning. That's what's up on the stream, but it's all in that range. It's probably about right. Initial instinct to South Carolina covers it.
Mine too. I feel Vanderbilt just – there was no pulse against LSU the other night either. They played okay for about a quarter, and then that was –
kind of rolled over.
Yeah. Well, look.
They're better on the road than they are at home because there's more energy. They're like you watch a bad Major League Baseball team that when they play at home, there's 6,000 people in the stadium pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And then they go to Fenway or Yankee Stadium or something and they play out of their minds. Because there's some energy. They feed off of it. They're humans.
Vanderbilt is as lifeless of a program as you could have because it's this multi-year thing where there's no hope. It's one thing to have one season with no hope and
Sure.
There's been a coach change, there's been all this, but look, Derek Mason, from the standpoint of his job, he has no chance of surviving here. At some point, he's going to be fired. They should have already fired him. It's a school that has put nothing back into facilities at all. They put no money into the football program. I mean, it's a lifeless program right now, and they have frankly no chance to compete. I mean, let's just be honest. So
no, I agree.
Them rolling over is not a shock. I guess is my point. As they go through this season,
the later you catch them this year, the easiest it will be. Yeah, easier it will be.
They played hard against A&M. I know A&M's not good, but
no,
they played well against A&M.
It was their opener.
Yeah, they played all right. The Red River rivalry is this weekend. Two teams that looked like crap last weekend. Oklahoma and Texas. Oklahoma a 2-point favorite over Texas. Oklahoma is 0-2 in the Big 12 for the first time since like 1999, I believe. I think when they played Ole Miss in the Independence Bowl is the last time that has been the case. It was either that or it's the last time Texas and Oklahoma both played each other with losing records. I forget, or whatever they are. One or the other, so I don't know. Virginia Tech, North Carolina. North Carolina is a 5.5-point favorite in Chapel Hill over the Hokies. Is that on our list?
It's on the list.
Okay.
All the SEC games, Texas OU and Virginia Tech, North Carolina are our games this week.
Your Louisiana Monroe team heads to Lynchburg, Virginia to face the Liberty Flames this weekend.
I will never be a bigger ULM fan.
I mean, not very often do we get both helmets of the competitors on our shelf. We have a ULM somewhere too. So
yeah, I might have to move ULM to a spot of more prominence this week.
Yeah, because ULM is 4 shelves below Hugh Freeze right now?
And that's probably what's going to happen Saturday.
Something like that.
It's unfortunate.
I like Liberty's chances against the Warhawks on Saturday, I believe.
Yeah, I think we've had some COVID issues too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Liberty is a 20-point favorite in this one against ULM. 20.
That's great.
Yeah, not 50, but 20. Let's see. NC State, Virginia, 9.5, courtesy of the Cavaliers in this one. Going on down, scrolling. Tennessee, Georgia. In Athens, that is a 2:30 start. On CBS, Georgia, 13.5 is where I got this one.
Yeah, I've got it at 14, Tennessee getting 14. I was a little surprised the line was that big.
That's a weird line.
But a lot of this is that Georgia defense is phenomenal. It is so good. Scoring on them is just hard to do.
Tennessee has won 6 straight SEC games for the first time in a really long time. They have a 6-game SEC streak, but those 6 games are all Vanderbilt, Missouri, Kentucky, and South Carolina. The scheduling quirk of last year versus this year. those are the 6 wins they have. A couple of them twice. I forget which twice. It's Missouri twice and somebody else twice. But Tennessee's fine. They're good. That line actually felt exactly right where I went, I have no idea. I'm struggling with that one early on.
Yeah, I haven't made a decision there. Now, there's one coming up in a minute where I'm just, woo, all over.
I think it's this one, 2:30, also on Saturday. The Florida Gators travel to College Station. They face the Texas A&M Aggies.
It's actually an 11 a.m. game. They screwed this up on OddsShark.
Okay.
I went because I found it.
Okay. It opened at 6. It's now at 7.
Yeah. At one point yesterday, it was at 5.5, and I was wanting to just throw my entire life savings on it. I'm glad that I didn't.
I'm still taking the Gators.
Oh, I'm still laying 7 points at A&M. I think something's wrong at A&M.
Do you really?
I do. Seriously.
Like major.
Something's wrong. That picture of Jimbo Fisher, people can make fun of me all you want to. If I'm the face of a program like that, I look better than that on game day. He looks rough.
Especially when you're the $75 million man that can't do anything but go 500 pretty much.
I mean, I'm a different face of a program if I'm making that much money.
Look, he has the same conference winning percentage right now, or is on pace for the same conference winning percentage as Kevin Sumlin. There's been no upgrade so far. None.
No, he's no better than Sumlin.
No.
Just fresher with a bigger name.
Yeah. Arkansas is at Auburn, 3 o'clock for this one on the Plains. Opened at 16. It's sitting at 16.5 right now.
I'm pretty sure I like Auburn in the points. I'm giving the points. I'm willing to give them. This is Malzahn always plays Arkansas well. This will be a big game for Chad Morris. Arkansas's won for the first time in 20 years. By the way, the SEC shorts thing was hilarious today. It was all about Arkansas.
That was really good.
It was really good.
They played off It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, it was
and
remarkably well done.
It can be stale at times. They've hit a lot of home runs this year. This year's been really freaking funny. And I get they get a ton of material. I understand that. But that was – it was good. I mean, it was one of the better ones. I
laughed out loud
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you should go watch it because I seriously, out loud cracked up when he pulled a Darren McFadden LSU jersey out of the box and just had a panic attack right there.
The 2015 SEC champs, Ole Miss. And he was like, wait, well, what? That's well done. Arkansas won for the first time in 20 games. They're going to spend the week talking about that win. I don't know how focused they'll be. It reminds me, and don't get me wrong, Arkansas is nowhere near as good as Ole Miss 2008, but
yeah, come on. But
No, but the same thing. You do have to learn how to handle winning now that you won one. I just don't see it. And they can't score. They're so bad on offense that it just limits them. Although Franks has been very efficient. His efficiency numbers are solid. They're not turning it over. They're okay, but this is a league you got to score some points to win. I don't know that they can.
Here's the deal, though. Are we a little – because they don't – you mentioned this several weeks in a row or 2 weeks in a row, and I understand they play Kentucky and they play Georgia and pretty good defenses. Is Auburn good enough on offense? Is Auburn worse than maybe we thought? Because, I brought it up. I said, hey, the way their schedule is, maybe they get to this spot where they've got a chance at being a really good team or a spoiler or whatever. Not really playoff, but just kind of in the conversation, if you will. But Bo Nix has looked very average 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Hasn't really so far taken that sophomore step that we kind of expected. They don't have the dynamic running back that we're used to at all. Now, Seth Williams is a freak.
They're not good up front.
Yeah, that's my point is, look, Kentucky dominated yards against Auburn. I get there's a lot more to the football game than that. Kentucky turned the ball over 3 times. And it wasn't overly close, and Auburn had a win early in the third quarter. But they didn't run it up on Kentucky anywhere near like Ole Miss did last weekend.
No.
They had nowhere near the offensive skill set to do that throughout the offense.
Mm-mm.
Now, Auburn on defense is really good. They don't miss tackles. They play pretty well. Georgia had a hell of a day. I'm just going to, for now, set that aside, not play transitive property, and go, Auburn's still better than that look like for the day. But if they're not, Auburn's average. Auburn's 6-4, 5-5.
The question will be, can Barry Odom dial up a game plan against Chad Morris that keeps them in it.
Morris may not be very good.
Well, real chance.
I mean,
Chad Morris was not popular with those kids up there. And those defensive kids have seen him. I'm kind of talking myself into taking Arkansas on the points. Those kids have practiced against that offense how many times?
here's where this thing's funny. Because, look, Auburn's going to beat Arkansas. I don't know if they're going to cover, but they're going to win the game on Saturday. So they're going to be 2-1 at that point. Here's, though, the rest of their next schedule. Because offensively, they're bad right now. South Carolina, Ole Miss, LSU, State, Tennessee.
Ooh, interesting.
That thing, because look, here's the deal. They're going to lose. I think they're going to lose to LSU. I do. I think LSU beats Auburn. Are you really that confident they're going to go 4-0 against South Carolina, Ole Miss, State, and Tennessee?
4-0? No.
Yeah.
I mean, if you tell me they went 3-1, maybe, but I wouldn't say they go 4-0.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they could go 2-2.
Yeah.
That's not out of the realm. And they get Bama. That's another loss.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you get 6-4, 5-5 pretty quickly.
It gets weird fast.
And then they close with A&M. And whatever, I don't know. We'll see as the year moves on. But
someone's asking the line. It's on the screen, but it's 16.5 right now. Arkansas is a 16.5-point underdog at Auburn, 3 p.m. game. That's interesting to me. I mean, Tennessee-Georgia is an interesting game for whatever reason. Maybe because it's the West, but just Arkansas-Auburn's intriguing.
It's a little bit because it's the West, there's no doubt. But
every time Felipe Franks pump fakes, an angel gets his wings.
It was really well done.
It was really well done.
It was good. It was that or the road trip one was my favorite.
The road trip one was great.
Well, it's two of them, I guess, technically, but yes.
Even the one last week where LSU had lost.
He's at the backyard barbecue?
Yeah, and he comes back, he's kind of beat up, and
Yeah. Well, the best part of that was when he was talking to, it was either the Ole Miss or the Florida or whatever, it's about Trask numbers, and he's like, gave up 400 and whatever yards, and he's kind of puts his head down like, that'd have been great.
Yeah.
Costello throws for 6, whatever it was. All right, Ole Miss and Alabama. Again, 6 o'clock from 5 o'clock from Vaught Hemingway Stadium. That is in Eastern time, as I was reading. 24 is the line. If you really want to bet some money line on this game, you have to put 2,100 down to win 100 on Alabama.
Ooh.
That does not feel like it is worth it.
What is the Ole Miss money line?
It's not big enough, actually. It's only $13.50. I need a little more than
Bet
that.
$100 on Ole Miss to win, and you get $13.50 if
that
they
is
do.
Correct,
yeah,
yes.
it almost has to be
13-1, if you will.
Yeah, it's almost got to be bigger than that.
Yeah, 21-1 because they're just trying to rule out anybody making easy money on Alabama, and then $13.50 on Ole Miss. So,
my inclination is to lay the points.
Odd Shark is predicting 52-22.
Yeah, my inclination is to lay the points. I don't know that Ole Miss can stop them, and I don't know that you can throw haymakers with Alabama and win.
Over-under is 74.
Ooh, it's a lot of points. Probably go over. I think Alabama gets in the 50s.
And I think Ole Miss scores at least 25.
Yeah, I was going to say,
if
you told me Ole Miss got into the upper 20s or even low 30s, I'd buy it.
Yeah, I think I'm predicting something around.
Because Bama's got a big game next week. For all the people, here's the one little thing where all the people that are like, oh, he's got this thing about Kiffin and blah, blah, blah. I promise you, in the back of his mind is this game with Kirby Smart and Georgia next weekend.
100%.
Book it. He probably would love nothing more than to roll Ole Miss, get some guys out, and be sloppy late so that he could really have their attention.
I don't think, compared to what he feels for beating Kirby, I don't think Nick has some personal thing against Lane Kiffin at all.
No.
They like one another, frankly.
It's fine.
He's not going to sit here and try to run this thing up on Lane Kiffin on Saturday. He's just not.
At the risk of getting somebody hurt and lessening his chances to beat Georgia next week?
Yeah.
Hell no. That'd be insane. Look, if you're Nick Saban and you look at this game and let's say you're up 24 on Ole Miss third quarter, 28 on Ole Miss third quarter. What are your odds at that moment that you're losing the game to Ole Miss?
Nothing.
0. What are your odds next week that you lose to Georgia? They're there. It's more than 0.
Mm-hmm.
You start making sure you're ready for that game. Because Kirby's been close. No no Saban assistant has ever beaten him. But Kirby's been in overtime against him in a championship game.
Yeah.
So, chill.
Yeah. Podcast brought to you in part by Tyson Drugs and G&M. Tyson and then Holly Springs, G&M there on South Lamar and Oxford. You can pick up the Immune Support Med Packs. Pharmacists develop combinations of vitamins, supplements designed to boost your immune system and lung health. 30-day supply of vitamin C, zinc, NAC, probiotic, and vitamin D3. Combination of over-the-counter supplements to prepare your body for illness or virus. You can stop by Tyson Drugs in Holly Springs or G&M again on South Lamar and Oxford, 662-236-2222.
We're also brought to you by the Iron Horse Grill, located at 320 East Pearl Street in Jackson. With live music 4 times per week, it's the perfect place to enjoy lunch, dinner, or Sunday brunch. It's also one of the largest beverage caterers in Mississippi, can service the entire state. So call Sarah Black, 601-398-0151 for your catering needs. That's the Iron Horse Grill. Dead Soxy is with us as well. We'll have a soft verbal a little later in the week, brought to you by Dead Soxy, deadsoxy.com. The best dress socks you'll ever put on your feet. The no-shows are absolutely awesome. You'll love those as well. So don't miss out on an opportunity. Get in touch with the people at Dead Soxy, DEADSOXY.com. And as always, stay Soxy. We're also brought to you by our friends at Blue Delta Jeans. They want you to know they're here for your game day needs. So whether you're one of the lucky few to make it into Vaught Hemingway this season, or if you plan to watch the game at home with a few socially distanced friends, a new pair of Blue Delta jeans are just what you need to look great, feel comfortable on Saturdays. Their new line of 4-way stretch cotton pants come in 12 colors, including a great new powder blue for Ole Miss fans. So drop by the Oxford studio, DM Blue Delta Jeans at Blue Delta Jeans on their social media, or email info@bluedeltajeans.com for more information. And remember, just because you won't be in the Grove this year doesn't mean you don't need to look your best for game day. We're also brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. Lots of great deals out there if you're looking to travel later this fall, looking to travel in the holidays. A ton of deals to be had. Let John find you one of those. Get in touch with him. Give him some parameters. Give him a budget. Give him some ideas. And then sit back. He will come up with a lot of options that you can't find on your own, and you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387, or send him an email, jedwards@regencytravel.net. First-time clients save $50 off their first booked trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast. And we're brought to you by Oxford University Bank, OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. OUB gives you all the comfort of home, all the benefits the big mega banks provide, all the technology and products you can want, all but the personal touch. When you call OUB, you speak directly with a live person, all without having to press 10 buttons, without a 5-minute wait. To learn more about OUB, check out liveoxfordbankoxford.com or call 662-234-6668. OUB is FDIC insured.
Mississippi State is at Kentucky this weekend, 6:30 start for that one in Lexington. Kentucky with back-to-back home games. And the Wildcats are a 3-point favorite against the Bulldogs. What do you got it at?
Ooh, I've got it at 3. This is one that I haven't decided on.
I mean, we've seen schizophrenia from State. At least with Kentucky, we know what they are.
I kind of like Kentucky here. Kind of wonder about their confidence level. Auburn got them late. Ole Miss got them.
But look, critical for Kentucky because they're probably not winning one of the next two. They're 0-5 if they don't win this one. I feel like they get this one because they just have to.
You could be right. Look,
they're going to play ball control. They're going to make State at least feel like every possession matters so dang much.
Well, and State is going. Why are they not running the football with Kylan Hill at all?
Not their offense. It's Leach. He does not run the football.
If I'm Kylan Hill, I'm opting out.
I'm peace.
I'm out. I'm like, hey, done.
He catches the ball out of the backfield.
He does. I think I like Kentucky here.
I think I do. Yeah, Kentucky has Tennessee and Georgia after this.
Ooh.
Next two.
Merry Christmas. This 10-game league schedule, man.
It's brutal.
It's brutal with no breaks.
OddsShark, and I have no idea how reliable they are here. No
Okay.
clue. Their predicted score, 37-24 Cats.
If you told me somebody won by 2 touchdowns, I'd immediately tell you I thought it was Kentucky.
Money line's pretty average. You 143 for Kentucky to win 100, and you get 130 if you bet 100 on State. So pretty small stuff there. Lines are going between 2.5 and 3, depending on the book you would like to use for that. Miami plays Clemson this weekend. Clemson by 15 on this line. I actually like the Hurricanes to cover this. Clemson did not look great against Virginia last week. I know they won pretty comfortably, but there's some holes in that defense. They're not perfect right now. Florida State Notre Dame is this weekend, 20.5 to 21 for the Irish.
Lay them.
Feel good about that?
Yep, lay them.
Florida State's bad.
And the Irish are good.
Yeah.
Legitimately good. Not national title good, but really good.
And then closing out the week in the SEC, the Missouri Tigers are in Baton Rouge to play the LSU Tigers. Gabe's team he covers will be 0-3 at the end of Saturday. So.
Yeah, 20.5 is what I've got.
That's correct. It opened at 19. It's currently at 20.
Probably lay them.
Yeah, because I just don't see how Missouri counters anything LSU wants to do. LSU's not great, but
it's got athletes all over the field.
Yes, I'm saying. I think they just bust some plays, and they kind of methodical. And Drinkwitz is no longer in the Sun Belt. It's this SEC only schedule for Elia might be a pretty tough year. I mean, they're staring at Vandy and 9.
I think so.
That's real chance at Vandy and 9 here.
Vandy and 9. That's rough.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good. It's. I mean, look at their schedule. Hold on. Missouri football schedule. Kind of curious. Yeah, I mean, there's just no wins here. I mean, well, they have a bunch of games they could win, but I don't think they're going to win them.
What's their schedule?
They actually have a really good schedule.
I'll give you my knee jerk when you say it.
All right, LSU.
Loss.
Vanderbilt.
Win.
So 1-3. Florida.
Loss.
Kentucky.
Loss.
1-5. Georgia.
Loss.
Okay, here's the thing. They're going to be 1-6 with 3 games that they could win, but you're 1-6.
Yeah.
So what do you really have left at that point in the tank for 3 more? They close with Carolina, which I think is a loss. Carolina's better than Missouri.
Yes, South Carolina's better than them.
Arkansas and State.
Knee jerk is win-loss.
2-8.
Yeah.
But I like 1-9 more than 3-7.
But they're at the end.
Yeah, is there anything in the tank at that point?
I'll tell you who'll have a hell of a plan for Missouri is Barry Odom.
Oh, well, that's true.
I don't know what the checkout will be, but I'll tell you this.
I like the Hogs that day.
The more I think about it, the more I think that's a pissed-off, motivated Barry Odom. The Missouri kids by the end might be, hey, kind of like looking forward to the break here. I promise you he won't be checked out. No, sir. You can take that to the absolute bank.
That's Kermit playing the Bulldogs a little right there. It's
Kermit playing the Bulldogs the year after they screwed him.
Yeah.
Not a decade.
And Elia might be kind of Rick Ray here, so it might be a lot going on in this. In this deal. I have out of the 4 new coaches, I have no faith in Elia Drinkwitz right now, and I don't really know why exactly, but I just don't.
This doesn't feel right.
No, I have more faith in Leach, Kiffin, and Pittman.
You saw what I meant about Pittman. He fits there. I'm not saying it's going to work.
I mean, Bielema did too, but
Pittman's more Southern than Bielema.
That's fair.
Bielema came in there and tried to turn them into a Midwestern program.
Yeah.
And Pittman's doing we're in the South.
Yeah.
He's recruiting the South. And he's doing how important the state of Arkansas is to him, all that stuff that they want to hear. He's giving them that. And they play hard for him. I've watched them twice now. They play hard.
Yeah, from just believing in what a coach is trying to do in the program fit, out of the 4, Kiffin, Pittman, Leach,
No doubt.
Drinkwitz.
No doubt. And here's the other thing that Kiffin and Pittman have in common. both assembled really good coaching staffs.
Leach had a hard time assembling his staff.
I know.
I don't know
and,
who the
and
hell's in
Drinkwitz, I don't
Missouri.
even know who the hell's on it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, Kiffin has a phenomenal staff, in my opinion. And Pittman's over there. I can't name all the assistants, but his two coordinators are really good, you guys. I mean, Kendall Briles, Barry Odom, from a pure football standpoint, are two pretty good coaches.
Look, I might have to eat these words. Drinkwitz comes off from a message, not the Christian stuff, from early. The messaging and the football coach is a little bit of a low-tier Hugh Freeze to me. Hey, there's a little different way we do this, blah, 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 but doesn't quite have the recruiting chops that Hugh has, doesn't have some of the early Hugh charisma that Hugh had.
Yeah.
It feels like low-rent Freeze in Columbia at a job that's very hard.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the East is okay.
Yeah, look, the league's good.
Yeah.
You don't just roll into this league.
It's Vandy and then 13. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
you don't just stretch out and go, hey, I'm going to.
That's what I'm saying. He kind of like takes the little shot here of, oh, well, they got the kid over Alabama and went, didn't have to pay him. It's like, oh, shut up.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Yeah, give me a break.
Here's all you got to know about Pittman, too. He won that game the other night, and I looked at his social media because I was so pissed about our production and my camera that I had a hard time sleeping. I looked at his social media and all the Georgia people that were congratulating him. That's pretty genuine stuff late at night. He resonates with people. I'm telling you, he's going to be okay there. I didn't say they're going to win. Going to be okay. He's going to make them more respectable than they've been in a while. And that's bad news for Mississippi State.
It's really bad news for State.
If this Mike Leach thing is a disaster.
It's bad for Missouri.
It is.
The two programs that are hurt the most by that are Mississippi State and Missouri.
It is. I'm just telling you. I mean, everybody always says I do hot takes. I don't mean to be a hot take. I just sort of sense there's a little seismic shift going on culturally in the West. I don't like where A&M's going, and they don't have the money to get rid of him.
Put you on the spot a little here. What are the 2022 SEC standings at the end of the year?
In the West?
Yeah.
Okay. 2022. All right. Alabama. I'm not taking them off until they show me something.
They're one because we don't know what Nick's doing. That's
Alabama's one. The initial reaction is LSU's 2, Ole Miss is 3, Auburn's 4, Arkansas's 5,
A&M 6,
A&M 6, State 7.
Really? So you think A&M falls off the table?
I think A&M's falling, and I think Arkansas is on a very slow treadmill, very slow moving sort of up. I think Ole Miss has a chance to skyrocket. Just my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not willing to bet against Alabama.
Look, Ed does have to get some quarterbacks.
Ed's got to get.
Ed can't be number 2 in the West with a bunch of cast-off quarterbacks.
No, and I mean,
it's Les Miles all over again.
And that Joe Burrow thing, you don't win that lottery too often.
Well, no,
I mean, Burrow's a really good NFL quarterback already. By the way, did you see my boy Justin Herbert? I just want to continue to point that out. Herbert made plays yesterday in Tampa. They end up winning that game?
I didn't think so, but no, they got to be 38-31.
Did they? Oh, damn it.
Yeah. Well, that'll be on MSU's message board in 10 seconds.
What I just said?
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, what difference does it make? I mean, seriously. Neal, you're unpopular with Mississippi State fans.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That impacts my life in what way?
Pulling up NFL stuff real quick. Yeah, I knew Brady had a pretty good game, so I thought they won. Tonight, because of the change in schedule, 2 games.
Wait, Larry Joe says Tampa won.
I said Tampa won. 38-31.
Oh, Tampa won. Damn it. I was sorry.
Yeah.
Damn it.
38-31. Pats at Chiefs tonight, 6:05 for that one.
No Cam Newton.
No Cam Newton. And then Falcons at Packers is your nightcap tonight at 8.
It's NFL football, but those have a chance to be a couple of stinkers.
Yeah, because, look, the Chiefs were going to be the massive favorite anyway, but without Cam, that feels tough. So who is the quarterback for the Patriots?
It's he's a journeyman, been around the league forever. As I said, Stidham's not ready. It's I don't know. I can't think of his name.
Okay.
As soon as I see him, I'll know. I go, oh, damn.
Okay. 10.5 is the line in that one. Chiefs minus 10.5. And then Falcons, Packers. Line is 6 there, courtesy of Green Bay. Would you lay the 6?
Yeah, I'd lay the 6. Green Bay's actually pretty good.
Yeah, just kind of glancing around. The Saints did win. It was a little tricky and a little ugly, and they have like half the roster out with injuries. But they win 35-29 to get back to 2-2.
Brian Hoyer.
Jesus. Okay. So Brian Hoyer against Pat Mahomes.
Brian Hoyer at 40 is going to say, "Yep, I was in the league for 18 years. I started 6 games, but I was in the league for 18 years.
Made a lot of money. Probably
I made a bunch of money, and I know a lot of people, and my golf game is awesome." So kiss it.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's fine. Let's see. Yeah, Joe Burrow, 33-25. The Bengals over the Jags yesterday.
He was good.
They are now 1-2. It's his first win. But look, the NFC East is horrid.
And I love Burrow. They said, "What are you going to do with the game ball?" And he said, "I'm going to put it back in the ball bag."
Did he?
Yeah. That dude is focused on – all he's focused on is winning big. Willie, I don't know, but I love that mentality.
He was not going to put her on the shelf. And okay.
Joe Burrow would have been the guy that – he'd been the quarterback at Ole Miss, and Ole Miss had won big. He would never have allowed people to go pick up the Egg Bowl trophy. He would have left it on the field. Like he left all the trophies on the field last year.
Yeah. Let's see. What else we got? But anyway, what I was saying, Browns beat the Cowboys 49-38 in Dallas yesterday.
Yeah.
Cleveland suddenly 3-1, playing pretty good football.
Allow me to correct myself. After week 1, I questioned Baker Mayfield. After week 4, I'd like to say that I was badly wrong, and I'm sorry, Mr. Mayfield, for my comments.
3-1.
I was incorrect.
Philadelphia has the lead in the NFC East at 1-2-1 on the year.
Yeah, it's about right.
Yeah, that is where the NFC East. The Cowboys are 1-3 right now. Have no defense.
Giants can't win a game.
Yeah. Seahawks at Dolphins yesterday. The Seahawks win 31-23, so fairly close, but they do move to 4-0 on the season, 2-0 on the road so far. Ravens beat the Redskins 31-17. Panthers beat the Cardinals 31-21. Vikings beat the Texans. Texas now 0-4 on the year.
They're in trouble.
That's true. Rams sputter past the Giants 17-9 yesterday.
Yeah.
In that one in LA. Yeah, Giants 0-4, Rams 3-1. Your Bears suffer their first loss. The Colts 19-11 over Chicago in Chicago.
Nick Foles wasn't a whole hell of a lot better than Mitch Trubisky would have been.
Indianapolis now 3-1 on the season as well.
Defensively, they are really active. Very good.
Most improved team in football. They've been pretty good for a couple of years anyway, but the Buffalo Bills moved to 4-0. They are up 30-23. I mean, they win 30-23 on the Raiders.
It's amazing what happens in the NFL when you get good quarterback play. Everything else just kind of falls into place.
Look, in the non-Patrick Mahomes division, Josh Allen is the MVP through 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And frankly, he might be the MVP anyway, but Mahomes has the ring in the name.
That's what the league should do. They should just go ahead and give the award to Mahomes and then come up with a new one and say this is the non-Patrick Mahomes MVP award. Everyone except Patrick Mahomes is eligible, and it might actually be a lot of fun to follow. And Patrick Mahomes gets to award it.
Okay. That's
while wearing a crown.
A crown.
Yes.
Okay. You can head on over to visit oxfordms.com. You can see all the different events going on in town. Obviously, centered around Ole Miss and Alabama, 5 o'clock Saturday for that one. The night before, they've got tunes around town. That's from 5 to 7 around the square. It is designed to allow you to walk, catch a short performance. As one performance stops, the next performer down the street starts. Kind of goes in order like that. You can grab an ice cream, some food, explore shops and pass the time while you wait for your table for dinner. It is free. There will be people out in front playing at Oxford Creamery, Breezeway by the Growler, Visit Oxford, and Spring Street Cigars are the 4 spots for that lineup to see some different music acts this weekend. Again, they will do our Oxford Eats on Saturday. We are doing St. Leo this week for that. So we'll talk a little more about them on Saturday. But again, visit oxfordms.com/events.
We're also brought to you by Bluff City Advisory Group, dedicated to building the future you desire. Founded in Memphis in 2019, their team is comprised of established and seasoned financial experts who came together to serve individuals of their beloved hometown. The firm is built on decades of wealth management experience, and they have seen it all. Their financial advisors have a reputation for professional excellence, and their clients rely on their high level of confidence and integrity. So whether you need guidance on developing a financial plan, creating a customized executive benefits program for your business, or preparing a detailed asset allocation analysis, Bluff City Advisory will provide forward-thinking, cost-effective investment strategies customized to uniquely fit each client. Give them a call, 901-365-3447, or email Ben at equitable.com. We're also brought to you by Whitney McNutt. My mailbag will be up on Wednesday. I'm taking questions now. It's brought to you by Whitney McNutt of Tommy Morgan Incorporated Realtors, serving you for all your real estate needs in Oxford and Tupelo. She sells condos, land, commercial, and residential family homes. 662-567-2573 or 662-842-3844. And we're brought to you by Bain, Moss, and Bowen. Located in historic downtown Corinth, their law firm practices a wider range of law, from DUI defense to car wrecks to representing government entities. Bain, Moss, and Bowen is the only firm in Mississippi made up of a sitting state legislator, a former assistant district attorney, and a former circuit court judge. Their experience is unmatched in that regard, and you can tap into it by visiting them at 618 East Waldron Street in Corinth, or by calling them at 662-287-1620. Also brought to you by Meadowbrook Wealth Advisors of Raymond James, a team in Jackson providing planning and investment guidance to clients across the state and surrounding areas. Financial advisors Bill Geary, Logan Phillips, Chris Carrero, and Ryan Geary are partners with a commitment to personalized service. You can call them at 601-368-2215, see if they might be a good fit for your financial goals. Raymond James and Associates Incorporated, member New York Stock Exchange, SIPC. Let's see, Chase, we'll be going on at 3 o'clock on Saturday, Ole Miss and Alabama at 5, so we'll have a pregame at 3. It's brought to you by The Rogue. Don't forget, The Rogue has been delivering fine men's clothing for more than 53 years. Their classic style, attention to detail, and commitment to excellent service continues to make The Rogue a special place to shop. You can visit them at 4450 I-55 North in Jackson or at therogue.com. And that pregame show is also brought to you by Heritage Properties, home to 3 communities in Oxford, Faulkner Flats, Cambridge Station, Lexington Point. All 3 properties are multi-family housing. They all offer on-site management and maintenance. They're pet-friendly, and they offer short-term leases. Faulkner Flats is located on Old Taylor Road, 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartment homes, private balconies, patios, a premier 24/7 gym and tanning facility, and a resort-style pool, car wash station, and much more. Live at faulknerflats.com or 662-234-4558.
I was looking at it here trying to find it. The Bills so far scored more than 30 points in 3 of their games. Defense is pretty good. And then, like I said, Josh Allen currently a QBR of 89.8. That is number 1 in the league. Throwing for 1,326 yards through 4 games. So he's
been really good.
12 touchdowns. 12. So far.
Been really good. They're fun to watch.
They are fun.
Mm-hmm.
A little different, but good red and blue on the uniforms, too. Buffalo's done a nice job with the white helmets and stuff. I'm like traditionalist. Everybody been fine if they stayed with the old stuff, but their white helmet's pretty dang good. I'm all right with their switch.
It's hard to completely screw up red, white, and blue.
You can make it look very Sunbelt.
You can. You can
make it look mid-major quickly.
What's your guess on Ole Miss uniform this week?
Powder hats, red tops, gray pants.
You think?
I do. You don't.
You say that like you know something.
No, I don't know anything. No. You don't think that?
I'm going to guess.
They told fans to wear Navy this week. I know that doesn't necessarily
matter.
That
a damn thing.
because they're not wearing the Navy jerseys. I
wouldn't
believe.
think.
That's not an out. They don't do that against Alabama anyway, really.
Well, they won in 2014 with the Navy jersey.
They did. You think they're going to wear powder again?
I would question why you wouldn't wear powder again. You're going to have a lot of eyes on you.
That's true. Might go powder. I mean, I don't. My hunch is they wear red jerseys. I don't know. I just have a feeling.
Okay.
They might wear white pants. I don't know. But you think there's a possibility they don't wear gray pants this season?
Oh, I think there's a real chance they don't wear them.
Okay. I mean, all good.
They need some powder pants, frankly, with the white stripe. Or 2 white stripes.
Are you going powder on powder?
Yeah.
That's a lot of powder.
It's a lot of powder.
Now, white, well, no, they're red, though.
I definitely wear the white jersey on powder pants, but you got to change the white jersey to a powder stripe.
And numbers.
And yeah, numbers.
And they don't have that.
I wouldn't think.
I don't think they have that jersey. And it takes a minute. Looking ahead, you've got a pretty fun Bears game. It's the Thursday night game against the Buccaneers this week.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
They'll get after Brady now, but they can't score.
5.5 Tampa Bay giving in that one.
At Tampa?
No, in Chicago.
In Chicago Thursday night?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
That's correct. If you want to see a physical football game on Sunday, I might actually have to find a way to watch this. Buffalo at Tennessee on Sunday. That'd be a good game. That's a pretty fun game. Raiders at the Chiefs, just kind of looking ahead a little as we usually do on Monday. And anything that sticks out. Rams going to win again. Rams are going to be 4-1 because they're going to beat the Redskins on Sunday. Cincinnati at Baltimore. There's one for Joe Burrow. He gets Lamar Jackson and the Ravens on Sunday.
Well, this isn't his year, but his year's coming. I got a feeling.
Dallas at 1-3. If there's ever a must-win just for a coach or a psyche, Jason Garrett and the Giants in town.
Ooh.
On Sunday. You got to win that football game.
Oh yeah.
You really have to win that football game.
I'd hate to have to go face Jerry Jones after that loss.
Yeah, that's your a couple things you're going to be excited about here as we finish. A national CBS game. You kind of like the Colts. Get the Colts against the Cleveland Browns on Sunday.
Oh, that's a good game.
That's a 3:25 game. Minnesota at Seattle is your Sunday night game. Vikings Seahawks.
That's not terrible.
And then on Monday, you get Justin Herbert and the Chargers in the Superdome.
Oh.
On Monday Night Football next week. So, Chargers Saints for that one.
He's a good player. I'm telling you, he's good. I like him.
Saints favored by 7.5 early in that one. Look, they're not good.
Speaking of good uniforms, Chargers uniform.
Oh, now that's got a chance, depending on who wears what, to be a really good uniform game. And Saints won't screw it up.
Yeah, no black pants.
Yeah, and that they might even go black on black.
Yeah, they do that a lot. That's not good.
So,
I promise I'm not going to do this, but some of the coverage of the Trump COVID hospital thing is crazy. It's almost like they thought he was just going to die, and now that he's not, they're almost angry about it.
His president said he's not. I mean, his doctor said he's not out of the woods.
May not be entirely out of the woods yet. What does that mean? I mean, he's a 74-year-old obese man.
Yeah, he's going to have some comorbidities.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, I mean. Watching a press conference when you can't hear it, it's useless. It's almost impossible.
We don't even have subtitles on. I mean, I don't have any idea. So, but whatever. Anyway, yes, Dak is great in fantasy football. He is fantastic in fantasy. He's much better in fantasy than he is in actual football, but it's fine. Let's see. We'll have some Pro Football Focus stuff tomorrow. I've been liking to give them 48 hours because they change a bunch of grades and see things multiple times, so it kind of screws up if we don't do that. I know you're shocked, but Matt Corral, the highest ranked Rebel on the day, with a 90.4, which is incredibly high for a quarterback.
I don't know that he made more than 2 or 3 mistakes.
Mingo at 78.7, which is very high for a wide receiver. Elijah Moore with a pretty good day.
What did the offensive line do?
really, really bad. Again,
that's the concern.
I want to look at pressures and things like that because the grades on linemen are frankly kind of screwy with Pro Football Focus, but I do think they get them somewhat right from the standpoint of where they fall within everybody else. And offensive linemen are 4 of their worst 5 grades on the day. Dennis Jackson's down there too from a wide receiver standpoint, but Broker, McIntyre, Newman, and Brown are 4 of the worst 5 grades.
Yeah, they've got to get better up front for some of the stuff that we were talking about to happen. And they've got players that can do it, but they got to get. I thought it was interesting after the game. Kiffin talked about how they've just got to get more physical. He's challenging them.
Ashanti Sistrunk had a hell of a game on defense, by the way. Great out of 84.3.
Oh, how about that?
At linebacker.
Well, he's one of the more athletic ones. They've got some guys that just aren't running very well right now.
So, yeah, I'll look through it. I'll see what I come up with tomorrow on some of that. They need more out of the run game, but, again, a lot of that's offensive line related as much as anything else.
Kiffin said as much. Everybody keeps asking where was Jerry and Ely, and Kiffin's answers, we got to block better.
Yeah. Corral, just kind of looking at anything real quick. Talk about killing somebody when they actually did it. Kentucky did not blitz at all. They tried to get pressure with 4, which they did most of the time, but he was 75% completion percentage when they did blitz him on Saturday. Under pressure, he was 6 of 6 for 64 yards on Saturday.
You know, I thought his improvisation skills, which have always been pretty good, I thought they were unique the other day. They were elite the other day. He made plays. There were plays where Kentucky had him, pardon the pun, corralled. And he got out and made plays, got 8 or 9 yards on a play. Changed the game for them. He's been terrific. If you're Ole Miss and you're getting popped Saturday, do you get him out?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. Do not risk that right now.
Be curious to see who gets the next snaps. Who gets the cleanup snaps for Ole Miss? I don't know whether it's Renfro or Dent.
Because there's a difference, too, in, hey, I'm just getting you out and let's just see somebody for a minute versus, hey, he's hurt and who's playing the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Those are not the same thing.
No. Well, there is some evaluation to be done here. You know, do you think these guys that, for example, if you're Lane Kiffin and Jeff Lebby, do you think Kincaid Dent is an SEC quarterback? At some point, you got to play him in some SEC games.
Mm-hmm.
Or you've already made up your mind that he's not or whatever.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk more NFL tomorrow. We have another media op tomorrow, not with Kiffin, but with players. So we'll bring you anything from that as well. And then leading up to Ole Miss and Bama, again, 5 o'clock Saturday from Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. We'll be with you starting at 3 that day. And probably for a while. We'll see how your mood is, see how the game goes. But nonetheless, we will be there. So thanks for hanging out in the live stream.